What's happening, YouTube? How we doing? It's been a while. So I just want to say a massive big ups for 10k subscribers. Actually crazy. Never thought I would get there this fast, I guess. So absolutely buzzing about that. And just want to say a massive big ups to all of you that have liked, subscribed, shared. Literally means the world to me. It's lovely to know this channel is actually reaching people in different corners of the globe. Getting loads of lovely messages from people saying, different parts of videos have helped them, made them take different leaps in life, of just everything in general. It's just truly humbling and it's amazing. So massive thank you to all of you that have been watching and tuning in. So as you know, I was going to do a giveaway at 10k. I'm still going to do a giveaway. I'm just trying to decide what and how to give away and best way to do it. I kind of want to keep it exclusive for YouTube, for the people that have supported from day dot. Wanted to do a couple of funded accounts. Obviously I know that kind of caps the amount of people that get a chance to get anything. So I'm going to have a little bit of a think this week on what I can do that kind of gives more than a couple of people an opportunity to get something. And of course, as the channel continues to grow, I will keep doing giveaways, and obviously the more we grow, the more I'll give away, using the profits from the channel to obviously give back to you guys subscribing and watching. So don't think I forgot about it or anything. I generally am trying to figure out the best way. A couple of people have asked for, maybe give away a subscription a month in Hustle, a couple of FTMOs, whatever. Gonna think what's best, and then I'll obviously drop it next week in the next video. Also, after doing all the podcasts, doing the one in the studio where I did it with obviously Sam and Lewis, it was lush. Like, I loved the studio environment, and I just enjoyed. It felt a lot more professional. It felt like I'd taken things to a new level. So I kind of want to roll that way next with the podcast, which obviously does limit me in the sense of who I can get on. It's going to cost more money to set up. So I may be going down to one podcast a month. I need to try and find the right people that I feel fit the channel. Obviously I get a lot of people asked to come on, but a lot of that is for self-gain only, which I understand. Obviously coming on the channel, you're going to get reach and that, and I've got no problem with that. But at the same time, I want to make sure people have the same kind of message and values as myself. That's what this channel is about at the end of the day. So I don't want to bring the wrong person on that gives away essentially gives the wrong image across. I may slightly go into a bit of business entrepreneurial stuff with it, as well as just trading, just so there's not too much of a cap. Obviously it's very difficult to get people essentially in London in a podcast studio when a lot of you are around the world, but something I'm looking into. So I'm going to try and figure that out. I'm going to try and deliver a bit more content on, like live trading stuff. I know I keep saying this, I'm really bad at it, like trying to actually film in the moment and stuff, not ideal, but I'm going to try my best to get it going. Like daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, whatever. Going to try and do as much educational stuff as possible. I've already delivered a lot, and I know a lot of people keep saying, want source. There's so much source already on the channel, and I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up my own arse, but when you see the messages I'm getting from people that have put the time in to watch, implement, whether it's psychological, whether it's technical, whatever it may be, they've seen progress. And I think everybody needs to remember that. Like, everybody's on the search for this consistent secret source, but a lot of it is your mindset. A lot of it is actually the focus of you putting in the work, understanding what you're doing and going from there. So I want to ensure that you guys are looking at that stuff. So today's video, a question I see a lot, and something I've experienced a lot just from being a part of loads of in different people's journeys, is that everybody thinks they have a plan or an edge, but no one actually knows what it is. No one has a hard copy essentially in front of them. I did a video before about how to essentially gather data to build a plan. Today's video is actually building that plan. So I'm going to use Lucid, which is like a flow chart. You can use Canva if you want more of a checklist, or even Notion if you want something on there, if you're like into Notion. Me personally, I need something quick that I can just be like boom, 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 bang. It should be simple, it should be precise, and it should be something that you've tested. What I would say is create this plan from data you've gathered, test it in a live market environment, see how it does and fares up, providing you simply stick to that plan. If that plan is consistently doing you 10, 15, 20% a month, do you need to change anything right now? No. So a lot of trading is going to be going back and forwards, tweaking and refining things, but there's got to be a point where you're like, I'm actually pretty sound with what I've got. It comes down to the lifestyle you want. It comes down to who you are as a person, whether you want to be at the charts all day, one session a day, whether you have a certain amount of time on the charts, whether you want to trade once a week, whether you're someone that wants to trade, get a good trade, be up 5-10% and be done for the month, or whether you're someone that wants to intraday smash it and do 100 hour a week, you know, or 100 hour a day even. Like there's people out there, it's very doable. If that's what you want to do, it's all down to you, right? You can't be looking at your mate Dave, your mate Bob, and because they're doing something that you feel like you've got to do it, you've got to be true to yourself. So basically, I'm just going to run through how I would make a plan. Obviously, it's not my specific plan, it's more so my older plan, but I've literally gone through it, showing you how to use it, where you can make it. There's no affiliation at all, it's just simply, just thought it'd be a great video to go through. Something that a lot of you might be like, oh, boring, mate. But I'm telling you now, man, if you do not have a plan, if you do not have a checklist, or you do not have a defined edge, you are going to fail a lot. And don't get me wrong, trading and general life and success, failure is a big thing. And if you're scared of it, you're not going to get anywhere. But you can prevent some of it by actually just knuckling down and putting in the work. Have an edge, stick to the edge. You've seen on the recent podcast, different traders, different types of things, right? They all have their own edge. They've not come to me and said, hey mate, can you help me tweak this even more? I want to do this, I want to make more. What works for them works, and they stick with it. And you know what, big ups. It's something I didn't do enough of at the beginning, and to be fair, even last year I still did a lot of jumping around from bit to bit, learning new things, getting amazed by this and that, and I realised that, you know, it did have a little impact on my results. And at the end of the day, we're doing this for freedom, we're doing this for an income. If you can replace your 9-to-5 income from trading, you're already killing it, and you're above so many people in the world that would give anything for that. Obviously, I went to see Stephen Bartlett on Monday, which was absolutely incredible, and a lot of things he said really hit home for me. One of them being that everybody in the room that we were in is probably already living the dream that their previous self wanted to live or wanted to have, yet all of us kind of neglect that and focus on the next dream, and you just go from dream to dream to dream, and you're never truly happy. And that dream usually is money, 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 and money doesn't always give you the happiness, and it's something that I'm really starting to experience. Being more present with my family and actually making memories is a lot more, is a lot better for me, and that's something I can take with me rather than having a huge bank account and not doing anything with it. So I think we all have to remember, like, all these little things, these little cogs that are part of our journey, having a trade plan, having an edge, testing it, going in a live market with it, failing, going again, you know, our health, our mental well-being, mindfulness, all these different things, they all play a big part into that success. It's not just one thing. It's not just a technical, oh, I know what I'm doing, sweet. So please watch the video. Please actually take something from the video, and hopefully it helps you guys make more of a stricter rule-based plan, and then go with that plan for a month and just see what your results are, whether you log it on a Edgewonk or a Notion or a MyFX book or whatever, whatever it is you have. Log it and see how you get on. If it's really bad, okay, things need tweaking, but make sure you're logging it to go, right, all my losses did this, okay, so if I stop doing this, blah blah blah. You get the gist. I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get into the slipper flip because it's been a couple of weeks, feeling good. Haven't really done much back testing, which is a bit cliche considering this video is about basically testing your edge, but I'm feeling confident. I'm going to give it one go, both feet, and then we're going to get into the video. I hope you like the intro. I'm actually pretty love it, so if you don't like it, whatevs. It's a lot shorter for those of you that said it was too long. Let's go, slipper flip. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, needs practice still, guys. Anyway, catch you in a bit. Peace. What's happening, guys? So, just going to show you Lucid. This is Lucid here. This is the link. Obviously, I'll drop this in the description as well for you all, so you've got access to it. Completely no affiliation in any way, shape or form. Just a really good, clean app to do a flowchart on. If a flowchart is your vibe, it might not be. You can also use Canva if you want more of a checklist type trade plan. I have dropped one in the past on Canva, so I can happily find that for you and drop that as well. And also, obviously, we're going to build one together here, just a very basic one, just to kind of show you, how you can essentially build a plan. And what it's about is when you build this plan, this is based off of data you've gathered, right? But then you need to take this plan into a live market. Ideally, stick 100 quid in an account, or if you're confident in the plan, by all means on a larger account or on funded. What I would say is, if you haven't got any actual data on this, hard data in the live market, you probably don't want to start risking large quantities of money. 100 quid in an account, 0.1 risk, and just test it. You'll find things along the way that you want to tweak, that you want to change, but the ultimate goal collectively is to ensure that you've got a simple plan that you can just follow and stick to, and that is your edge that you hear everybody talk about, and essentially that is what's going to make you consistent, providing you stay disciplined, you stay patient, and you follow that. You don't get FOMO, you don't chase everybody else and what they do, you just focus on your shit. And that's one of the biggest things in trading, is there's not enough of that. So I'm going to run through it. I'm not by any means a wizard on this. There'll probably be people watching going, "Ooh, Jesus, you could take long." But I just thought I'd run through the sort of thing that you're looking for to set up, and then you guys can go about making your own one, testing those ones against data, live environments. And I also got up here EdgeWonk. I use this to track all my data. It's a lot better, I find, than Notion. You can import your MT4 account history, and it will show you so many different things about and similarities. You can add in so many different confluences. It gives you a tilt meter. Really, really good. Only recently started using this, and it's really good. So I highly recommend that for using amongst this to gather the data truly, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody's coming into this industry thinking they're going to make millions straight away, and it's just sold the wrong dream. You need to understand it's a business. Most businesses in year one don't even make any money. A lot of them finish negative. I always watch Dragon's Den, and a lot of businesses that are going on there, they're in like £300,000-500,000 of debt, making negative returns each year. They're still managing to somehow gain investment because of their product. It's the same with trading. You could be down for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden the exponential growth of the compounding over time will get you to where you want to be. Anyway, enough waffling. Right, if we get this guy here, let's get this one first. I'm going to call this, we're just going to do one. We're going to call this our pro trend, right? So pro trend setups. And here you can go to this bad boy up here. You can change the color to whatever you want. Let's go over green, and then you can put pro H4 trend, right? Grab an arrow. Oh, this is where I said I'll be a bit of a spazzy. There's probably someone watching going, "There's an easy way of doing this." Look, I'm not the don at this, all right? Pull this one out. No, that's not the one I want. It's this one here. And then you could go pro M15 trend, like that. And you could go like this, and we can go, I don't know, so pro H4, pro M15, identify POIs, and then you could put brackets M15 and above, and then you could make that little bit there if you want. You can knock it down to a smaller text. So you could say, right, pro trend, you know, you can make this bold. You can, of course, you can play around with everything. I'm just going to try and do a brief rundown of what it should look like. So you've got pro H4 trend, so identify the trend first. Pro M15 trend, this would be swing structure as well, by the way. And then you could say, right, identify POIs. So you find all your M15 POIs, or your H1 POIs, or you know, your M16 POIs, or whatever time frame it is that you want to find, your M30, right? Find the POI that matches the criteria. That criteria you can add on here, so you could have a little thing. You could have an arrow coming off this saying, you know, where are we here? You could put something like engulfed POI if that's part of your rules. So then you know, right, I've got to find an engulfed POI. If it's no, then you don't look. You find one that is. If there isn't, no trade. Then you can have underneath this bad boy here. You can say we can go look for M1 refinement inside POI. So we can identify the M1 levels. Again, you could have another arrow saying must be an engulfed POI. You can make this as fancy as you want to make it. I'm trying to just run through a brief sort of, you know, how we can do it. When you save it also, the grid gets removed. So it will just be a nice clean flowchart. And the reason, you know, you want to do this, you don't really want to have lines absolutely everywhere because it's confusing. Remember, in trading, right, if you've got paragraphs on a Notion document or in a journal, in the moment of taking those trades, especially if you're entering on a lower time frame, right, you don't want to be trying to read paragraphs to make your decision. You want something very simple that you can kind of either tick off or you can just flow with. For me here, it would be like, right, Pro 4 trend, yeah. Pro M15 trend, yeah. Found my POIs, it's engulfed. Look for M1 refined inside the POI, right? Once it's done that, you've got a choice. If you play seconds and it hits the refinement, you can play the seconds entry model. If not, you can say you want to wait for the M1 to realign, and then you can play the seconds entry model of that, or just play the M1. So we could go here and we could go like this, and then we can go like that. And we can say, right, so let's jazz this up a bit. So here, engulf POI, you can put text saying no. Oh, what happened there? This looks good, doesn't it? 1 second. It's done me over. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. Right, P off. Right, that, turn it to none. Then we can put our text in here. We can say no. We can drag this across like that. We can drag that there, so you've got a no. And then we can have, you could have a box here saying no trade, right? So straight away, identify POIs or engulf POI, no. All right, I can't trade. Simple as that. If you don't want that, then you could have scrapped this, right? Then here, look for M1 refined inside the POI. If it hits and we use seconds, play seconds entry model, and then you could have bracket off this saying like that, and then we can go. Those boxes look really different. It's proper throwing me off. I feel like it's different size. Anyway, you could have V-shape, recovery, the beautiful chalk, the flip, smash it, right? That's your seconds. Look for M1 refined inside POI. Here you could say, if we get text, oh, there, you could say no, no refinement, or slash reacted off, no refinement slash reacted off whole POI. So then I'm going to put that in a box actually. So Command C, delete that, delete this, get ourselves another box, and then paste that in. So look for M1 refined POI. You can obviously put here yes. I'm trying to do this quickly so it's not a ridiculously long video. I don't know how long it's going. It's not showing my watch. So then from here you can say, right, look for M1 refined POI, refined inside POI. If it hits and we use seconds, play seconds entry model, V-shape recovery, chalk flip, smash it. And then here you could say no refinement slash reacted off the whole POI. So that's if it comes into the 15-minute, maybe the first mitigation, and it gives you a 1 minute change of character. You could say, right, I'm going to play the 1 minute because it's now realigned with the 15-minute. So if we go here, and you could say M1 realigned with trend. Oh man, M1 realigned with trend after chalk and flip, right? Again, this is just me. I know some of you out there are going to copy this and be like, boom, we're going for it. And by all means, take it to the markets and test it. But remember, like, if it don't work in your head, then you ain't going to understand it. You ain't going to get anywhere. So you need to test this regardless. This isn't my plan. This is essentially an older version of my plan. I've refined it a lot more since, and I'm still currently just refining a couple of little bits on data gathering. I'm trying to really increase my strike to sort of the 80% region. See how we get on. I'll keep you posted on that. Maybe we'll get some videos in as the data is being gathered. Anyway, so no refinement, reacted off the whole POI. The M1 realign with trend after chalk and flip, right? So now you've got a choice. If you play seconds, then again, you would go here, and then you could say, right, bosh. If it hits and we use seconds play, seconds entry model. So now the M1's realigned with the trend after chock and flip. You find the M1 POI, right, that caused the failure, and then you want to look to play this entry model off it if you play the seconds. If you don't play seconds, then you could say here, I'm going to go, oh, my mouse has gone on my other screen, come back, thank you. You could say here, and obviously you can line these all up so they fit perfectly and measurements and all that jazz. I'm just running through this quick. Find what caused chock and flip and enter on M1, right? So you can, I've just realized why these are bigger because I've written more in it, right, so that line's booky. I need a new one because it wasn't looking good. There we go, cool. So find what caused chock and after and flip and enter on M1, right? So these are basically the two ways you could look at it. And this is for pro trend. So you're not playing any counter trend stuff here. You're simply playing pro trend moves, and this would be how you'd structure it. Now, obviously you could structure it a little different. You don't need to have this. You can make it more of a different colors, a different flow when it comes into here. I would show you mine, but I know you'll all be all over it, and I just don't want people doing that because I did it before and I just think everyone stuck it on their wall but no one understood it, and that's just no good. I'm trying to show you the app and kind of give you some guidance on what you could do, and then I want you to take your minds and actually go, right, you know, Albie's shown us a brief description. Some of these things are actually what I want, but I can add in this, I can add in that. You can do so much on this app. Like I say, I'm not that clued up with it. But it's where I made mine. I found a flowchart works really well. I can have it on my other screen next to MT4, and literally once I start seeing these things happening, once it's in my POI, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the M1 refinement. If it's hit, I'm looking to play the seconds, and I know what I want to see, and I've got there's no way I can say I can't take that trade because it's done that. If it hasn't done these things, then you can obviously neaten it up and draw arrows back to where you need to start again. So for instance, if there's no engulf POI, there's no trade, then you sort of start again, you wait for further developments. If there is, you start to look for the lower time frame developments. If you don't trade below M15, then you'd be looking from engulf POI and you'd be looking to get in from there, okay? So after this, we could have, on the same one, I like to have a management plan, just so I have a very good idea of what is popping. So you could have management, let's move it up a bit. See how here it tells you the distance apart everything is and all that jazz, so it all matches for people that might want to see things, you know, everything perfect. And then, I don't know, let's say we go for a cheeky blue, and you could say BE at 1 to 3, take off 20%. If that's what you do, you could say BE at 1 to 4, take off 20%. You could say BE at 1 to 4, go to BE, so you don't actually take anything off. It's completely down to you. This is again how you do it. Then here you could say, you know, we're pro trend is what we're looking at. So you could go, right, you know, I don't know, 10R, especially if you're on like funded in that, you're trying to do challenges. 10R, we take 35% off the trade, so you've banked something. And then you could go here and you could go, right, at 10R, the next one would be, you could say full TP at M15 low / high. Again, this is just up to you how you do it. So you've got a management plan, right? You can make that bad boy bold. And then this way, what you're doing is when you're following this, you've entered the trade, you can essentially then go, right, management, what do I need to do? Oh, it's 1 to 4, I'm gone to BE. 10R, 35% off. Let's set your TP at the low or high. Chilling, mate. And if you've got the TA, I did a video on this, how I manage my trades. If you haven't watched it, check it out. You can set all this stuff before you're even in. So you can have automatic break even at 1 to 4. You can have 35% taken off at 10R, and you can have a full TP set at M15 low or high, or you can have another partial at the 15-minute lower high, and you could target the 4 hour, because if you're pro 4 hour, then essentially it should take out 4 hour levels, right? Again, this is just completely down to you. If you want to have a separate area, you could have one here that sort of like goes on about your risk. So you could have text there, and it says, I don't know, risk, and then you could put that in bold. Why didn't it go bold? How dare it? Mugging me off. bold, and then here you could say risk 1% of my account. That thing didn't really work, so let's make it a bit smaller. Because I've used some funky diamond, I'm just trying to make it look a bit more pleasing on the eye. And then you could go, I don't know, yellow, and then you can have another arrow coming off this bad boy, and you could have something like, what could we have? You could put, I don't know, 4 SLs in a day, call it a day. So if you want some kind of rule around how many losses you can take a day to stop, you know, absolutely destroying your account, you could have that there. Anything else you could think of, you can put it in, right? And like I say, you can jazz this up with colors. You can make this a lot nicer. To be honest, mine is a little bit cleaner. It has a few more different arrows and stuff, but that took me probably an hour to make and create how I want it. I don't want to do an hour video of creating on this. I'd rather just give you a quick rundown, and then you guys can jump on this app. I think it's free to make an account. I think you can make like three free documents a month or something, and then you have to start paying. Realistically, you need one for a trade plan, and if once you save it, you can just edit that one. So you don't really need to pay for it. Maybe the paid features give you more. I don't know. I don't even know how much it is, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, do you understand how if you've got this as a picture on a wall or a laminated piece of paper, or on your other screen, or on this screen where you can just, you know, drop down the box and it's there, for instance, you can't deviate. And then if you're following this plan and you've gone into a live market and you've proven that it can make you, let's just say to start with, 10% a month, right? Consistently, you can make 10% a month. And then you go, all right, I've made 10, you know, I've taken a lot of time off. I want to take more trades now. I'm a bit more present. You could go for 15, 20% a month. If this is making you that, don't change shit. At the end of the day, that over a long period of time, compounded growth is huge. If I go back to Dragon's Den again, when people are talking about, you know, these investments that people are putting in 100 grand into businesses that may or may not work, you know, their return isn't going to be 10% per month for a dragon that invests, right? It's not going to be like that to begin with. And even when it gets massive, they might only own 10% of the entire company, right? So you have to remember, like, I think everybody's got a bit wild in the industry where it's like, you know, I've got to flip 50 quid in a minute and make it 1,000, and then make it 10,000 and make it 20,000, or your shit. No, you're not, mate. Like, there's people out there doing 1 to 3s, 1 to 4s consistently over a period of 20 trading days, and they're smashing 20% months on big accounts. Like, you've got to remember it, and it's something that I have learned, and I think it's come in more than once in my journey, is, you know, you have to focus on your shit. You have to do it for you. You're not trading for Instagram, you're not trading for YouTube, you're not trading for all those people that you think are your friends, that realistically, big question you've got to ask yourself is, do they actually like you, or do they like what you do? And that's something that I've started to realize as I've kind of developed is, you know, do people actually like me for me, or do they like what I give and put out? And that's when you start to realize, well, I need to put out what I feel is right, and then everything else is like, jog on. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if your plan stops at identify POIs and you want to enter on 15-minute POIs, sweet, mate. Just because someone else has got one where they enter on 5 seconds does not any different. I think everybody's very focused on entering the market. No one's actually got a clear-cut way of, like, how do I get in? How do I get out? What am I risking? What are my rules? This keeps you accountable. Maybe get an accountability partner or a friend, and at the end of the week or the month, go over your trades, and they can look at the plan against your trades, and they can go, well, this didn't make sense because it didn't fit this. And you'll be like, oh shit. A lot of your losses probably come from not having this. And then when you have this, you think, right, I'm ready. Then you don't look at this because you get distracted, and then your losses come because you didn't follow this. This sort of plan is what's going to make you consistent. It's like having a business plan. It's like having tactics in football. It's like anything, coordinates for a plane. Imagine your plane's just like, yeah, there's my coordinates, and then you change them halfway through. It ain't going where you want to be. It's the same with your plan for trading. You've got a plan, stick to it. You're going to take hits, part of the game. If you can get your strike rate to a decent point and you're pulling good R, 10R plus on trades, realistically, you are laughing. So yeah, I hope it's added value. I don't even know if this recorded, so I'm about to find out. But yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. I appreciate all of you that have obviously liked, subscribed, shared. I'm going to work out the best way to do a giveaway and what I'm going to do. I've had quite a lot of suggestions thrown at me. I'm just going to work out what's best. I want to keep it strictly to YouTube. So I need to figure out the best way to do that. And yeah, keep liking, keep sharing, and hopefully, guys, you know, I can continue to bring you more and more content that helps. You know, I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to give you things that perhaps I didn't have or know about. Hopefully someone takes value from this, you know. But yeah, have a good one. Peace and love.